Hi travelers, Tara here, and I'm coming to you today, September 13th, 2016, with the T-3 uh, eclipse reading. I'm a little under the weather today. The pollens are so bad, and so I'm a little behind schedule, but I'm going to be doing a Heart Oracle Tarot reading today. I'm not going to be using the regular tarot or the Sibilas. And as I was pre-shuffling, two cards came out. Our eclipse, we are 3 days out from the eclipse, and so let's just see what the cards have to say. Now, for some, I see that a past opportunity has come about, or perhaps it is an opportunity for something new. The first card that flew out of the deck was the Six of Cups, called Simply Love. We do know that under a Mercury retrograde, old lovers return, but this also could be about meeting someone that you really feel on par with, that there's a safety and a security in that. I look at this, you could say this might be a single dad, but I also can kind of see it in the sense that this might have to do with someone healing their inner child, or perhaps hearkening back to childhood, a time where you felt safe and secure and knew that you were loved. And I say that this is either an old opportunity and or a new opportunity, because right next to that is the Four of Cups, okay? And it says opportunity beckons. And we see that someone is, that globe, it's like a world. It's like a brand new world, but someone has their back turned to it. So this is either you, if this is someone returning back to you, this is you really weighing up whether or not you should accept this offer. And if this is someone new, like you feel a connection with this person, perhaps like you've never felt before, maybe there has been some kind of holdup on it. This is a stagnant situation. And what I see here is the card number 5, called Feeling Alone. And this represents the Five of Pentacles. So this could be someone returning after a time of separation, or perhaps you are separated from someone at this hour or this time. And the imagery of this card, it's quite different from the imagery of the regular Rider-Waite Tarot. And it's kind of like a combination of the Hermit and the Moon card all rolled into one. But this is really someone who may, or maybe this is you, feeling as if there's been no communications or separations or actual real world contact with this person, then this is, and I say that because this represents the Pentacles, this red card does. And this is really feeling perhaps as though you're in the wilderness and you have to make a decision about what you want to do. We can see that the person is standing on a hillside looking down into this valley. There's a lone building right there with a light on, which implies that there's welcoming and warmth there. And well, how does a person get down there? Do they have the long way to go? Do they have to climb over the mountains? And as we can see, we have the moon in the background. So this could be a decision coming up here around this eclipse that some will have to make, whether to stay or whether to go, whether to accept or not to accept. Now, I have the Six of Wands, and then I have the Moon card right in the center, as well as the, what do you call it? It's called Heal. It is the, it's on the tip of my tongue, the Temperance card. I do believe it's the Temperance. the sun, the solar plexus, and the Seven of Wands. It's called Choose Your Battles. And I have the Emperor card here. Well, I think that right in the center I have the Moon card. It's called Confront. And I think whether or not this is a new situation, someone that you met that you feel a very deep connection to, because to me the moon is not always just about illusions and deception and lies. It can also speak to seduction and deeply held emotions, or emotions that are coming from a place deep within, perhaps even that you yourself don't understand. And I think that on one respect, if this has been a relationship where there has been lies and deceptions, the Moon card, the Confront card, is asking you to step forward and confront those issues. Not only those issues that you have with someone else, but those issues that you are having with yourself. We always want, if this is someone returning from the past and the relationship did not end well, or there were some, obviously some battles in it, then the question becomes, what really is this trying to show me? And why really are my buttons being pushed? And we tend a lot of times to, in the rush of the possibility of getting back with an old lover, we tend to forget the tough times that we had with that person. We only remember the good because we're so happy to hear from them again. But this card tells me that there were a lot of things, this row tells me that there were a lot of things in the relationship that perhaps were never faced or talked about or really looked at in the cold light of day. And this is saying to you to choose your battles wisely. Are we going to ignore whatever our fears are or our doubts are, or those things that need to be brought out to the surface to return to this place of love, caring, kindness, nostalgia? And I think a lot of this really has to do with memories coming up. This is a full moon. It's a highly emotional full moon. And so the question becomes, which battles are you willing to fight? What is really worth it? Is it, if you think that the person is still going to be the same way, then are you going to choose to go back in and fight that battle? Or are you going to choose to take a look at yourself and uh, fight yourself about what you should do? I don't even know if that made any sense. Maybe I can make it a little bit plainer as I go along. That didn't come out the way I wanted it to. What I see is I have here 3 major arcanas and the 4th over here. And so even though I feel that this is a moment, a stop and pause moment to kind of contemplate what it is that really you should be doing and what you should be paying attention to. The solar plexus card deals with the card of your basic survival needs. And for some of you, this energy may really feel like you're fighting for your life. That you're fighting for your survival, your mental survival, your emotional survival, your spiritual survival, perhaps even for some of you, a financial sense of survival. But it's asking you, the spread is saying that you need to try to, the solar plexus chakra is the one right above the navel, and that's your gut instinct, okay? And, if you feel this relationship is really worth fighting for, then, fight for it. But if you have any doubt about that, if you doubt that anything will be changed, if the person is willing to change or be willing to speak with you or talk with you or be honest and open with you, if you don't think that's a possibility, if you suspect that the person is still going to be the same, then that's something that you have to confront yourself. You have to look at yourself and not at the other person. I do feel that there has been some success here in the sense of perhaps if you had to leave a relationship, or perhaps you're taking a step back right now and looking at something from a different angle, which is always advisable under the Mercury retrograde, then there is some kind of success in this. This is the Six of Wands. It says believe and succeed. So even though you may not be seeing anything um, appearing or manifesting tangibly in front of your eyes, know that behind the scenes, the energy is really working. We have the Heal card here, okay? And you can see someone is breaking the chains of whatever it was that they've been afraid to confront. But it is only through this separation and only through this time to step back that you will be able to heal whatever these issues are that you need to confront, that you need to take a hardcore look at. Now, what's interesting to me is that here I have two images of the moon, actually three images of the moon. And here I have the sun and the sun. And as we know, we don't always see those things that we see in the cold light of the full moon. Can take on shadows. They can take on different shapes. They can become things that appear bigger than what they normally are. And so this is perhaps about someone getting in control with their fears. Their fears are perhaps out of control, but the sun comes out to show you the clear light of day that there's really nothing for you to be afraid of. You really are, what you're doing is fighting your subconscious. If this is referring to someone who has been hiding their emotions, has been not being forthcoming about whatever is going on with them, I think that the time now has come. It's saying that you need to manifest that energy up so that you can step forward. And this is about personal power, and bring your personal power to the forefront. And that means that you are going to have to pick your battles. Okay, you're going to have to decide what's most important to you in the long run. Now, the Emperor card has come out, and this is the card, it says lead. And this is really my take on, in this particular deck, what this card means. And what it means is that when you make decisions, after you've really given it some thought, and you've tried your best based upon whatever information that you have, you've tried your best to come to a fair, logical, and rational decision, and you make that decision from the heart, then the universe will step in to support you. Okay? You can only really make true decisions from the heart, and not out of revenge or anger or fear or abandonment or whatever those things may be that come up. So I think this is why it ends with the choose your battle. You know, make the decision from the heart and the universe will support you. That's when big magic occurs. And the danger is that you can, if you're not careful and you're not really in tune to what your own needs are, then you're going to end up making a decision from the shadow self. That's going to be one based out of your ego. And that, you know, typically always leads to problems. It can boomerang back on you. It can cause you to jump into other situations. It's like jumping from the frying pan into the fire. I do feel with this feeling alone, believe and succeed, and the choose your battle cards, I think that this is a moment where you're being asked to take a step back before you can reset. Take a step back and trust that in taking that step back, you're going to gain something out of it, because you're going to be able to figure out what's most important to you in the long run. Basically, it speaks to dealing with your fears. That could be from your end, that could be on the other person's end. It could be both of you. I want to pull an Angel Answers card. So I have 2 cups, 2 wands, 2 major arcana, 3 major arcana, and the 4th one being the overall energy. So that's 4 major arcana, 2 cups, 2 wands, and a coins card. And sometimes, to me, the way the coins play out, it is, what do you really consider to be your treasure? What do you really consider to hold the most value for you? And you need to take a look at that. You can have all the money in the world and still be the most loneliest person. But you can also be the most poorest person in the world and have all the love. So it is about finding what it is really that you consider to be of most value to you. And not just in a physical, material way, but in a spiritual, emotional way. It is about confronting your true self and being able to accept your true self in all of its splendor and in all of its ugliness. And maybe what the whole spread is about is that you met someone who accepts you on all of those levels, but it could simply be your fears, the other person's fears, or the fears that both of you have about that. So let's see. What is the advice from the angel answers? It's a yes. Now, I don't know what this means to anybody, so if there was a question that you had about this particular spread, the answer is yes. Maybe what it's backing up is the message that the cards have to say, is that, you know, it's at some point one has to get a handle on their fears, because you cannot make a decision based out of fear. It immobilizes you. And that maybe if you can feel the fear and do it anyway, it's going to lead you into a place of great personal power and great wealth. That's the Emperor. You know, but you have to decide what wealth means to you. All right, that's what I have for you. I hope that message helped. And until next time, namaste.